Alright, hello everyone. Welcome to the Ruunin Open number 3. I'm a little bit sick today, so I'm not going to be joining this tournament, but I will be casting alongside the infamous Super Blizzard. How are you doing today, Super Blizzard?
Not as sick as you, but I'm hoping for some sick plays, if you catch my drift.
Ooh, smooth line. Smooth line.
Well, we're all about smooth transitions here. And yeah, I'm excited to see what the players will bring. I've faced some of my decks on ladder, which is always a bit awkward.
Ooh.
Well, it's also like, I feel like a proud parent. Done
It's
my job
flattering.
of
Yeah.
contributing, and it's still a bit. Yeah, it's still a bit sad because you see people trying to learn how to ride a bike, and you don't always get a good start. You don't always get training wheels, and yeah, sometimes you have to pick yourself up time and time again. And usually, I don't want to be the person that pushes you over from your bike. Um,
that
but
that's
yeah,
not the kind of parent you want to be.
I do not.
But maybe we'll see some of
But
those
here I
lists
am.
today. Yeah, and you're being invited. I don't know if you're.
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
Accept that, and then we can jump into the first game.
yes. So
Who
first up,
have
we've
we
got
got here?
FTW Cheese versus JTD. Longtime players from both of these guys.
Okay.
I will send a message to Cheese. Saying they're ready to go. And yeah, let's see what they bring.
Right.
Cheese
crack
got
on.
his infamous Krog list. Probably Aurora's
Yeah.
Disciple, some kind of flyers, maybe Monstrosity, and a red list with that Imperial cover. I see a Crassius list from JTD.
Interesting, yeah.
Crassius
So
been peaking up in popularity recently.
I I don't know if I like banning Scourge necessarily, because I think you're pretty well versed into burn with all of your lists. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'd be
switching
much more
his
concerned about the red green, maybe.
red
Um,
green. Now he's got. What do you think this red list is? Like angry?
no, well, the red list,
Seven
yeah,
rituals.
that could be angry.
Yeah.
It could also be some red combat or red mid-range. That's all
Right.
possible. If it's angry, I suspect the split is triple trooper, two horsemaster, and two command, which is my exact list, card for card.
Right.
Right, that's why I'm able to remember, and it's
And
it's
yeah,
quite fun when you can map out the decks already in deck selection.
it is, and it's very
Um,
important in this screen. You can win or lose games just solely by the
yeah,
ban. And if you
yeah,
can map
you have
out,
to.
yeah, like these numbers, this 3.5, the 7, the 23 on that red angry list, it's great players will do good analysis on that. I know it's very limited information if new players are watching, but it's very important information to keep track of.
Yeah. So Croc is being banned, which shouldn't surprise.
Yeah, Krog is
She's in a
a
position
nasty
where he has
list.
both the Disciple and the as potential hard counter for Gracias.
Yes, Krog's very good against Crassius. I wonder what Cheese is going to do against Crassius now. I guess he's got the Disciple list still.
Yeah, Disciple should be favored. You should be able to go for
Yeah.
the OTK. Um, there's
Though,
not much Gracias can do.
what do you think about starting with the Disciple list, though? That could have gotten tricky. I guess this is a best of 3, so fair
Well,
enough.
you'd have to
'Cause-
think about the other matchups. Burn,
mm,
I'd say, is fine as well for Disciple. You're usually a bit faster. Um, and then the last list was something like a green-red, potentially a Crackthorn, So generally a slower list as well. I think Disciple has nothing but good matchups here.
Fair enough. That's a good analysis. And in a best of 3, I think starting with your best deck is pretty solid.
Yeah.
Typically in best of 5s, I like to start with my worst list in the matchup just to scout. But best of 3 can be a little bit different.
So Cheese hasn't found Disciple yet. He's still looking for it. What JTD could do is, since he has a fairly aggressive start here, is he could quickly take over right side, and then if he top decks Humbling Vision, for example, and Cheese is only going to play one Disciple, this might be a very one-sided game, actually.
Yeah,
Because once blue-green comes down, I think it's hard to get back on track.
And JT's got a very aggressive board here. He could go for that. Yeah, just gonna build up to the Frog Tosser. And he's got 2 creations in hand on top of the Tosser. But, I mean, Tosser's not gonna be hugely important anyway. Oh.
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 No. I don't agree with this.
Okay.
I think I would have preferred just doing the double tosser next turn, really.
Yeah, double Tosser was pretty huge. This pretty much takes away 1 collection from Cheese. I don't know if 1 collection is worth giving up an entire Frog Tosser.
I don't think so. So maybe a bit too trigger happy.
Yeah, perhaps. But if Cheese doesn't find his Disciple soon, he's also going to be in trouble.
You still have to play for a bit of value here, I think, as JTD. He's going for a very aggressive line, tries to cut out Cheese as soon as possible. There's the Disciple pickup, which is huge. Soul Drains might be able to help Cheese come back into this game.
Yeah.
But right now it's not looking too rosy. And yeah, what's really devastating is JTD being able to put on this much pressure and potentially occupy a lot of lands of Cheese here.
Yeah.
I also don't really understand why Cheese went same side when all he has to fight off JTD are, 0-1s. That's not really going to accomplish much.
Yeah. I suppose he thought he was going to the other side. He built the Water Ellie on left side, but wanted to dodge out of the jumper range, perhaps. We are going to see the Disciple come down, and that's just going to get insanely buffed. Oh! Training on the Disciple. I love it. Found Disciple number 2.
So, a bit of unfortunate sequencing here.
Yeah.
Just because could have drawn first, then picked up the buffs on the other Disciple as well.
Yeah. Draw last. The bane of every Faeria player.
I mean, with a Mythmaker upcoming...
Yeah, one of these is getting traded. Value traded even.
Yeah, for sure. And now, being down 2 Soul Drains, it's not gonna be easy.
Oh no.
It's getting even better.
Doesn't quite have a clear on the 8/8, but we're close.
Yeah.
I
think it has to be Mythmaker.
Yeah, just Mythmaker into the 5/5, and then that's about all you need for now. Now, Cheese plays a bit of a slower Disciple list. I think if I was JT and I was playing against this, I would be very fearful of this Aurora getting, the Disciple getting traininged and then, like, moved immediately to face.
Well, he's out of...
he is out of gas.
He's out of Faeria, he's out of cards. It's really hard for Cheese to find a lethal here. And especially since he doesn't run Flashwind.
Yeah. So I think the both of us know Cheese's list. He pretty much just runs training as his only form of mobility, and the rest is all just piling on the treasures, trying to build up this disciple big and strong. So yeah, just gonna pass.
Oh, that's crucial though. Picking up the failed like that.
Failed's pretty nice.
Now, Humbling Vision is an answer, and that means the disciple can stick around for a little longer.
Yeah, I can even dodge at a range of this 3-3 now, which puts him way out of threat range. I wonder if he almost should have moved the 3-3 jumper up somewhere. Guarantee that trade. Oh, Gift of the Rakoa.
Ooh, that might prove very handy.
Yeah, not a card you typically see in a Crassius list. Typically the Crassius Swarm is enough to win you the game, but it might help in this matchup. It might give the extra numbers that JT needs.
Yeah, certainly. So let's see. Message in a bottle is what you want if you're looking to find that carpet. It's probably not gonna be carpet this turn, just because we've already seen 2 soul packs. Okay, here's another one.
Okay, might be a carpet. This would be insane if it was carpet. It's not.
It's not, yeah.
So, what does Cheese pick here? You can take the Simulacrum makes sense.
Simulacrum plays nice with the trainings. He's probably not priced into playing the training now, but later on it might be very handy.
Yeah.
As JTD, you have to be very happy to, only get to trade off that disciple next turn.
Yeah, what has he got? He's got 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's a 6, 7 power plus the humbling. Oof. Cheese is not gonna like that.
Oh. And yeah, you don't really want to be concerned with value here. It's enough to trade off a disciple as JTD, because you know the contents of cheese decks roughly.
Yeah, disciple
is a lot of
it
left.
Yeah. A disciple may be a treasure, but like it's pretty much just disciple. And down goes the Aurora's disciple. Number 2. I think this might close out the game for JT.
Yeah. I think so as well. Especially with this gift pickup. Even getting the value trade is huge.
Ooh.
But failed plus Gazer is a really good combo when you have the Simulacrum on board.
It is. That's a free 3 draw. But she's really gonna have to search for something good here. I guess it's just the disciple he's gotta look for. Didn't find it.
Oh, there's even Frogify in this list.
Oh. Wow, Frogify in Crassius. Very, very bold. Just going to keep his Simulacrum alive. Gonna slow play it for a little bit longer.
But this is just another brilliant turn for JTD. He can +1 into Tosser and Gift of Recover.
Ugh. Doesn't go for it though. But yeah, the Tosser and Gift is pretty huge. 2 creatures on board plus the Gift.
He could just aim to close it out with the Water Elemental here by buffing it and then hitting face.
Yep, doesn't go for that either. Oh my god, there's a Moby.
Yeah. This deck is full of surprises.
Isn't it? And Cheese is not aware of this Moby. I wonder if that will play a role in the next game.
Potentially, yeah. If JTD doesn't show it this game, Cheese might get surprised.
Yeah, and that's a great thing to keep track of. If you're already ahead on board, hiding your surprise tools in hand is really good, so your opponent's not prepared for them in the next match.
Globe can be used with a failed experiment. Which, yeah, Spear makes the most sense, but you don't have a good board for it.
Yeah, it's really sad that there was no carpet in any of those 3 treasures.
Yeah, he would have preferred one.
I think carpet would
But
just
even
win
with
him on the
carpet,
spot, right?
the Disciple is no longer big enough to really
Is
go
it
off.
not, though? I mean, you got the training, and then you can just dump your hand. You can give yourself, like, I don't know, probably, I guess you can't play the creations, so you can get, like 7 treasures? I mean, 7 flash wins? Could almost get that Disciple to a 20 attack. But then it gets Mobied if you don't one-shot him, so...
But as JTD here, you have to be concerned, because Cheese didn't really play his last treasure. That could potentially, in JTD's eyes, be still a carpet, so he might be priced into taking the Moby now.
Yeah, I think he's hovering it. And it's not a bad idea. I did just say you want to hold your tricks if you're up, but I don't want to play too risky if you can close out the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, so just gonna drop that Moby. Tricks have been revealed, and now I think that's it for Cheese.
Oh, Cheese is actually really, really close to doing something cool here. If he had a bit more life, he could aim for creation and then potentially even a failed on the globe, which does 5 damage AoE. So that would be a neat little combo to go along.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a lot of damage in hand still, which is very impressive.
Yeah, he has to be concerned with not dying here.
Yeah, and we can see the Gift of
First and
Rakoa
foremost.
in hand from JT, which is not good. Gonna take a clear on the 3-2. Is he concerned about Gift of Rakoa here? Is that what he's playing around?
I'm not so sure myself. Let's see.
Oh no. He roped.
Yeah.
And there's the surrender.
That's it. Yeah.
Well, we did
Game
see
one.
the gift in JT's hand, so hopefully Cheese sees that in the if he reviews the video, and he won't feel too bad about that.
I think even without the gift in hand, this game was pretty much over.
Yeah.
It's a bit unfortunate for Cheese that he couldn't pivot into aggression sooner. But then again, JTD had all the right cards at the right time.
He did. Very great top decks from him. And Cheese found the Disciple pretty early on, but it wasn't early enough to fight that opening. So Cheese gonna counter with his yellow list, which is probably Flyers.
That looks like Flyers to me. But we see a deck cost of 2.8. which lets me think there's no Azari in this list. That makes setting up an
Hmm.
OTK a bit harder than it should be.
Yeah, especially with all this swarm from JTD. Swarm is pretty strong against flyers because um, the small little guys fighting the low life flyers from Cheese.
That's correct, though I have to say Tosser doesn't really give you any great targets
That's
in
true.
this matchup, so depending on how many tossers JT runs, it um might just be a bit too clunky for this.
Yep, Tosser's not too good. Surprised, I don't even think we saw Crassius last game, did we? Like, even in hand, I don't remember seeing any. Maybe I was blind.
So Humbling is a great top deck with Barter.
Hmm.
Gives you a lot of early aggression, and now Cheese is looking to draw every turn from this point on. Another water
Yeah.
elemental, not what you're looking for.
We don't want to creation that one again?
Don't think so.
Water Ellie going to
So
try
yeah,
and defend.
this is some great aggression here. And you have the triple collection set up if you want to.
Yeah, we're gonna
Goes for the
creation it again.
creation. I don't think I agree.
Yeah, that's super rough. I mean, on board, there's already a full clear here from Cheese.
Yeah, you're too far behind to take this line. I think you have to hope for a top deck tosser. Try to take out the Demon Wing so you can potentially create a target in the Emissary.
Yeah, try and value trade that emissary. Get creation value on future tosser. We're also already on 5, 6, 7 lands. So Moby can also take out a flyer target, reducing the attack on emissary.
But the
And
problem is there's no great target for Moby. All of these flyers are rather cheap.
there
And
isn't,
Moby doesn't
but
collect.
like if you have enough Faeria, then you can potentially reduce the attack of emissary, and then you actually have a target.
But right now Cheese has such a big lead here.
Yeah, which is
It's
good.
just he's a bit behind in cards, that's all.
Yeah, it just needs to draw a little bit, and then he'll come back. Great point to note for new players watching. We've seen Cheese barter multiple times. We've seen Battletoads as an option, and he hasn't gone for the Battletoads, and that's because even though Battletoads becomes wild, the toads themselves are blue creatures, and they can only be placed on lakes. So Cheese has to forego the Battletoads, unfortunately.
They don't go crazy and wander off into the desert. They stick to the lake. Even if they've been captured. But yeah, this is a surprisingly effective Moby. He covers all
Yeah,
of the lands. Bloodfly pretty much has only one spot here where it can land.
which is not a
And
bad spot.
it does play into Tosser.
It does.
And
Very true.
it could very well be in JTD's range, right?
Yeah.
He doesn't find it, which is great for
Yeah.
Cheese, but
Tosser would have been such a huge top deck there.
yeah. Oh, the Biomans am too fond of. He could have went for Battletoads instead, which would have
Yeah.
secured the collection thing.
Oh no, wait. Don't you want to block this Bloatfly?
It's not.
I mean, it's really difficult for Cheese to deal the extra 3. You need 2 removal tools. I really liked the
I mean,
Moby
to
just
be
going
fair,
B3.
you've seen Cheese barter before.
Yeah, it's probably humbling. Fair enough. Fair enough.
He takes up the collection, which is fantastic.
Sneaky boy.
I think you do. I don't think you...
Actually,
Oh, wow.
I mean, that's fair. You get your champion back. You give him one
Right.
collection, but you get to set up so much stuff, because otherwise that Moby's still threatening a lot of area.
I don't think he was too threatening.
I mean, he threatens the Bloatfly on the left, or Bloatfly anywhere.
Yeah, I suppose. Though you could have blocked it if you went Emissary next to your orb and then Bloatfly on the far right.
Right. So now this is really important for JT to sneak these Crassius in. Honestly, wouldn't have minded just Crassius coming down that last turn instead of the bio, just so we can start that engine rolling. I guess we want to set up double collection, but I mean, it's so likely this Biomancer gets traded off anyways.
Oh, I don't know if I like this line.
Investing the mobility trick. Going for clears.
Because you're not denying any collection here.
I'm not entirely sure what the trade was. The face hit was probably better, but
It's probably still not enough for JTD to make a comeback. But there are some lines here that potentially lose you the game. For example, a Mythmaker could be devastating.
yeah. It's really unfortunate these Crassius didn't come down sooner.
Yeah.
Because they're a very small swarm. I mean, I think the play is probably just drop the Crassius. Hope to get them built up, but I don't know if Cheese will allow that. Not sure if you have enough time double collecting.
At least trying to buy some time with the
Yeah.
Liar. But as Cheese, you can easily pivot back and take out the Toad. You're not priced into clearing the Liar yet.
Yeah, like still no Crassius have been played. Cheese isn't really under any sort of threat there. He's got a lot of time to work with.
Oh,
He's just gonna slam face.
He's just going face.
I mean, face
He's trying
also...
to brute force it down.
It also works, because you can set up this aerially to clear the structure next turn. One thing to note though is JT's going up to 6 life, which may or may not be important.
It could be. But yeah, with this setup, it's looking like it's still lethal.
I mean, JT can prevent the lethal by tossing the 5-3, but it's only really delaying the inevitable.
Well, if you just the 5-3, you still can hit face with a Liar, potentially.
Ah, right. Yeah.
So he would have to command as well, but then that's also a losing line. Sadly.
Yeah. Does command even save you, though? Command... Like, he's just got so much damage. Alright, he has enough for both. Alright. Oh. Takes out the air elemental instead.
Interesting. So another movement trick here would be lethal. He should have drawn for it, I think. Okay.
Not gonna matter. There it is. Alright, Cheese
There's
pulling
game.
back. So match point in this best of 3.
Let's see if the red-green is equipped to deal with yellow.
Yeah,
I'd imagine that's what you pick.
Red-green potentially can beat yellow flyers lists. JT's got a great advantage from winning the...
Oh, wow.
Goes for the burn. I mean, perhaps
Well, that shouldn't be a great matchup.
Yeah. Perhaps the green-red is not constructed to face flyers, but...
I really am...
burn is kind of a rough
as
one.
confident as JTD is, yeah.
Oh no. Well, oh. Rebel Slinger.
Yeah.
Alright.
So, what happens versus flyers is usually they can take a few value trades with their Windborne Emissaries or their Manta Riders early on. And usually burn runs understated creatures like Grimguard.
Yeah.
So it's really hard to get your creatures to stick in this matchup.
Yeah, and many new players will often flock to burn because they look like really good creatures. They have reasonable stats, I suppose, and then they also burn damage to face, but damage to face isn't usually irrelevant at all in the early game, so you're just looking at the raw stats, and those burn creatures aren't too strong. But JT...
Flyers is also really strong, one of the best decks in my opinion, at setting up a 2-turn clock, so they can use cards like the Celestial Tower or the Windborne Champion, or even Flashwind to hit for 10 in one turn and then repeat on the next turn.
Yeah, 5 is just such a great attack stat to hit into a 20 life.
It is.
And there is the Celestial
speaking of,
Tower. And this
yeah,
poor
this line is just
Windstorm Charger.
way too strong.
Oof. I don't think these Rebel Slingers are going to be able to manage.
I don't know what Cheese was respecting here. Maybe a Garridan?
Yeah.
Since Explore hasn't been played yet.
I mean, considering we saw Moby in the last list, maybe Cheese is expecting some strange things coming out of the burn list. Some surprising things.
Yeah. But as Cheese, it's good to note that you're already in an advantageous position. So you can take you don't have to take the risk of playing into Garridan. You can afford playing around it.
Yeah.
Which is something that I think a lot of players struggle with, especially when they're starting out. You really have to know when you're ahead and can afford to do these things, versus when you're behind and have to take risks actively to have a chance in the game.
Exactly, yeah.
But yeah, another turn of clearing the board, locking JTD out of collection, and Cheese is at 18 life. He's feeling very comfortable.
He is happy. And these burn cards aren't going to do too much. And here's what we mean by understated. This Rebel Slinger is 3 cost for a 2/2 body. Meanwhile, all of Cheese's stuff, he's got a 2 cost 3/3 body, which is just insane. And all this face damage really doesn't make a difference. Playing for board in Faeria is so huge. These Faeria wells are more important than you might think.
And just like that, cheese represents 15 damage on board, which JTD has to respond to, and I don't think
with
he can at the
with a
moment.
singular card in hand too. He's
Yeah,
gonna hold
yeah.
on to the flame burst, hoping to do something. And there it is.
And that's it.
Cheese takes the win. That was best of 3, yes, yes. Wait, Cheese says ready. Is this not best of 3? It's not! I was mistaken.
Oh,
We
okay.
have a
So they
bonus
could
match
buy
here.
both of them?
Yep, they both got a buy. I just checked the brackets here. There
Great.
is a
One more
lot of
match.
players with
Or two.
buys. Yeah, so, um, back to that, when Cheese was starting with Disciple, I feel like he should have started with something else then, because that seems like the counter matchup to Crassius, but alright.
I think it was fine, but Cheese went a bit too aggressive.
Right.
Didn't have to give JTD any lands to step on. He could have really just tried to slow play a bit more. Yeah.
Fair
I
point.
don't know why JTD chose to pick Burn last game. This would have been fine into Yellow Flyers, I think. Especially
Yeah.
now since I'm playing Shaker.
Yeah, it's interesting that he went for Burn versus Flyers. Queen's Favorite is a card we don't see very often. I'm liking these new aged cards from JT's lists.
Yeah. A bit of a slow start here for Cheese, but picking up Mentor on 3 isn't too bad. He can still get some value out of the collection.
Yep.
It would have been worse, arguably, if he were player 2, because that just sets you a bit too far behind.
Yeah, being able to get that first land down for those 3 land cards is really nice. Ooh, only one event
Just
in
one
JT's
event.
list. Barter giving some good information from Cheese. Now the
Yeah.
only events he has to play around is the Guidance. Doesn't have to worry about Flame Burst, Cypher's Wrath, any of that.
Or Firestorm, for that matter.
Yep.
Which is always a scare card for yellow.
Yeah, true.
And JTD could be just making more lands this turn. He goes for the ground checker, which I don't really like, because you know there's a guidance in hand for Cheese.
Yeah, likewise for Cheese being able to see that Guidance is the only card to play around, JT also knows that Guidance is a play around card.
So what I would have liked here is maybe playing the Horse Master instead, because you know there's already 2 Soul Drains gone, probably no further Soul Drain in hand, and you could have really taken your time. Even played it back 1, so set up a potential Salamander.
Yeah, there's a lot of slow playing that JT can, and green red is a slow play type of list. It doesn't want to play super fast generally. At least the Salamander variant. I guess it depends, but Cheese really heads up play not playing the Manta into the Salamander range. So he's not going to get punished, but that Salamander is going to get punished.
I'm not even sure if you wanted to Salamander that turn. Because Double Shaker was also an option for later on.
Yeah, Double Shaker to clear the Manta and the Bloatfly at some point.
Yeah. But now the Shaker lines up pretty well here. Lets him value trade the Manta. And even potentially lines up the second Shaker for the Bloatfly.
Yeah. That is pretty nice. Oh, Seed. Seed of Paradise. Does that mean Crackthorn is being run in this list?
It probably is. I'd imagine it would be, at least.
Yeah, Seed allows you to ramp your lands a little bit. If you're only concerned about Salamander, who's got 4 lands, not really worth running the Seed, but if there's Crackthorn, perhaps.
Yeah. The Bloodfly here, that's nice, can take out the Horsemaster if you use a Flash Wind. And then JTD would be having a hard time contesting the next Bloodfly.
Yep. Bloodfly is a great value engine. The 3/3 stats are just so solid. And JT's really only got 2 and 1 damage sources with Salamander Ground Shakers. And I think that is what he's going for.
Yeah, looks like it. I'm not sure if I'm too fond of Cheese's placement here with the deserts. As the flyer player, I usually tend to stick backwards. Try to play around my opponent's lands as much as possible. I want to force as many resources as possible from my opponent to clear my flyers. Whereas right now, JTD has established a corridor on the right side for Horse Master lines. The left side
Yeah.
is also pretty alright. He can take this trade now. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great point about the Horsemaster line setup. More defensive lines could do Cheese some good. Kind of a nice trade from JT with that protectioned Queen's Favorite. Protection actually helps quite a bit against these high attack stats.
Certainly, yeah.
Not
Moves
gonna
it back.
try and take the Bloatfly trade. I mean the Bloatfly proc. Not concerned with that,
I
I
guess he
suppose.
doesn't really want to step into the range of Shaker right now.
Yeah, I mean we did just see a Horsemaster, so maybe he's not expecting another one. Could be fair. Grabs the Axe Grinder spot. Really great contest to this
Yeah.
5/5 champion.
Right now, what Cheese has to worry about is the Axe Grinder on the left side and, you know, this constant swarm of creatures. He's not really able to answer that. He should be trying to focus on retaking right side, which isn't super easy.
Well, we've
Theft
got
might come in handy later.
we've
But
got a Ruunin's Guidance in hand.
yeah.
So we can take out the Grand Shaker that way. It lines up a Salamander, but I don't think it's that important. Actually gonna go for Spirit Theft.
Oh, interesting.
I'm
not
what do you
sure that's
think
the best
about
line here.
this? Yeah, this is very expensive. Like you lose a creature, a buff, and like 2 events from this. I don't know, I kind of preferred keeping the champion alive and just value trading with the guidance. You get so many more
Yeah.
creatures to survive.
I agree. And especially because you do know there's no removal from hand in forms of, you know, any spells that could come down. So taking value trades is
Yeah.
really only punished by Salamander, Crackthorn, or potentially another Shaker paired with any of those.
Yeah.
So we see Champion really being clutch, taking out the Grinder here, as well as the 2/3, which is just a great display of mobility in this game and what it can accomplish for you. That one Champion took out the Horse Master and the Grinder, so 6 Faeria in
Insane.
total, which he took down.
And collected like a million times.
Yeah.
Now comes down the seed. Gonna be a body block. Oh no, it's actually gonna buff the seed.
That's a funky line.
2/3 stat line, not bad into flyers.
Oh, but there's a play. He can Windbond Champion the seed, and it then turns into a
He can
colored
kill the
land.
seed, yeah. That's super funny.
It To be fair, there's a couple of options here. You could also look into, setting up a shaker aggressive, trying to race. I think those are all valid lines.
Hmm. I really like the killing the seed. That's just too funny. I want to see it happen. We might see something get set up aggressive. He might be hovering. Like, maybe you could go bloatfly aggressive. And then champion the seed away.
It could also be champion aggressive and then... Well, actually, you could bloatfly aggressive, champion on the back next to your orb. You still hit it up for... you still set up for face hit.
Right.
And then you move the shaker one down, so the shaker is no longer in range of clearing the champion.
Yes! We get to see it! Oh, thank you, cheese. Gonna go for the control lines instead. Fair, also. What a sneaky play. And now that 6-costed Salamander pretty much did nothing.
Yeah, outside of clearing a 5-2.
Yeah. I suppose it cleared the 2 5-2s.
It did, yeah. Which also, I'm not sure if you wanted to trade Salamander there. I don't think it was too threatening. It didn't...
Yeah, it was just...
Didn't really pose a threat to collection that turn, because Seed was already collecting.
That's true,
And you could have potentially gotten more out of the champion, I think.
Yeah, I would have liked it going face or something. Is this all of the guidances drawn from JT, actually? Can't remember if we saw one before, but if it is, Barter will have no more value. Though, Cheese has played 2 Barters, so maybe he only runs 2 copies, and it doesn't matter. These bloatflies are just ripping through JT's stuff.
Yeah. And that's another problem with going aggressive like that. Just giving too much leeway for the bloatfly to, threaten and terrorize the board.
Yeah, you gotta be able to defend your lands. Especially going down 2 sides. JT has gone down 2 sides. That's very difficult to defend against all these bloatflies. We do see the Crackthorn. Cannot be played just yet.
But at this point, JTD is so much farther behind on Faeria collection.
Yeah.
It's hard for the Crackthorn to really matter.
It is, and with more bloatflies just coming every single turn, these 3-life statted creatures are just gonna soak up any relevant pings from Crackthorn.
So ideally what you would want to do is pair the Crackthorn with something like a Ground Shaker, so that you get more value out of the random pings. But yeah, this is already past that point.
Yeah, I think we've seen 3 Ground Shakers played already.
Yeah. Well, actually, we've seen 4 with Jesus.
True.
You nabbed that.
Salamander not gonna matter much into these 3-life creatures.
And there's just so much going on for Cheese here.
Many
options.
options.
To taking any trades right now because he's got the scaling, right?
Yeah, like these, and now not only does he have the bloatfly engine, he's got a follower engine now too. Oh my.
And the Bloodfly train continues.
Go, go, go. Yep. JT's looking at this board and questioning his life decisions. What went wrong? That's the power of the Bloodfly.
I hope he can rest well tonight and isn't plagued by more bloodflies in his sleep.
Oh,
He's
go
got
for
a
the...
Crackthon here.
I mean, Salamander would save a Grand Shaker, but...
Yeah, he's one shy of playing the Salamander, which is really unfortunate for him. Actually, too shy. But yeah. It's hard to imagine a line that'd be beneficial here and lead to JTD winning this.
There's really not much. You just need a big statted creature going face, but there's no possibility of that anymore.
Manta zips back, takes out the Crackthorn. I guess what JTD is hoping for is a Grove Collar top deck, assuming there won't be a clear on the Shaker by Cheese this turn.
She's playing it super safe, just gonna take out any potential threat, and I think that that's a good call because of that Grove Color threat that can be teleported.
Yeah. You're not really losing here.
Yeah. Tethra. It is really important to not get too confident in yourself when you're winning on board this much. Because it does seem like you're winning, but with that 11 attacker on board, things could change if you're not thinking about it.
Right.
And there we go.
Now, JTD gives it over to Cheese, and Cheese takes this serious with a whooping 3-for-1. So
Ooh.
I do think that last match could have went a lot different.
Yeah, I agree.
If JTD just went a bit safer with his plays.
Yeah. The green-red, especially that green-red list where it's got Crackthorn and Salamander, the game plan there is to just build up late-game value, or like scaling over time, and going aggro, you're just gonna get punished a lot by the flyers. But okay, that's the match. Let's search for the next one. People are probably still playing, so I'll go to a be right back. But thanks everyone for tuning in. I'll post in chat when the next one's ready. Alright, we're back. This time with the semifinals, Kilt versus Eru CZ. So I'm gonna quickly ask if both players are ready. Let's find Eru. Eru. And how did that last match go? It looks like 3-2 for Eru in the last match, so it was a close one. Alright, we're gonna head in. So,
yeah,
we got a Krog
deck.
Another Krog
coming in.
Ooh, I wonder if we're gonna see a ban there. So is Kilt a newer player? I feel like I kind of recognize the name, but also I'm not sure.
I think he's fairly new. But
he does know what this list is, though.
An estimate. I'd say probably half a year in.
Right.
Oh, maybe even a few months. I don't know. But yeah, let's get back to the topic at hand. we have two yellow decks. Well, actually, a bit of blue sprinkled into one of those by Eru,
Hmm.
and another airbot deck, which it could be Max, it could be all sorts of things. Probably with 18 deserts, this could also be Tellerburn. Three dual color cards being the Spectre, and then the neutral is probably Storyteller.
Yeah, 2.5
Um,
average cost, pretty low. Could be Husk.
yeah, that
Uh,
would fit with the Husk.
we got a 3.3 yellow on Kilt side. 3.3 is not a common number, so probably some spicy thing. Or maybe that's like Azurai and stuff. I don't know.
Right, with Azurai, my list is usually topping at 3.1.
Right?
I'm not sure what he plays. Maybe he's splashed in a Nightmare as well. That could be also something that increases your deck weight. Um, yeah, this is going to be green with a bit of yellow splashed in. Interesting.
And we've got 3 dual colored cards in this. Those numbers total to 33. And we're gonna face against the blue with, or the yellow with a splash of blue.
So maybe that yellow has Toeship in it.
Could
Let's
be.
see. We'll find out.
I am very interested in seeing what these players have brought. So Kilt is playing a green-yellow mid-range, looks like. Maybe tempo. Arrow with some kind of flyers. Destructive volley in there. A choking sand. And lionfish. Okay. So we're going to see lionfish with some buffs. Some tempo-oriented cards. Even the horse master in here.
Yeah.
What an exciting matchup we have here. Perhaps Arrow is just like standard flyers with some extra stuff in there. But poor
I
little
don't like the choking
lionfish
here.
getting choked. You don't like the choking
Don't you
there.
think that's a bit premature?
I mean, take away the collection. It's something that you want to deal with. I mean, I guess if you got flyers, doesn't matter. But
Well, if you think about next turn and what Kilt could possibly have, I think you get better value, and you're locked out of playing Manta Rider.
yeah,
So in
true. I
this
just
case,
saw
I
the
think
Manta
it's
Rider.
possible to forego the one collection and then develop Manta Rider instead. And you have to also consider an O4 isn't really threatening right now. You'd need a buff for that to
Yeah,
matter.
true. And yeah, like you mentioned, that Manta Rider no longer can be played. We're only on 4 Faeria. So we kind of lose the collection here. And no forests in sight from Kilt, so you could have held the choking one more turn.
Yeah. Also, Soul Drain is a big punish. Losing the Demon Wing like
Very
that
true,
would have
too.
been devastating. Now Kilt gets these Explorers down, and they will be at 4-6, so just out of reach of the Manta Rider.
Very... 4-6
It's
is
no
an
longer able to
excellent
trade it
stat
in one
line.
hit.
Excellent stat
It
line
is, it
versus
is.
flyers. Probably just see the Manta Rider contest right side.
Manta Rider and Ariana are both great. Ariana lines up a bit better with the Soul Drain, I think, since you don't have to invest the Manta.
Yeah. But gonna go for Kaleem. Swordfish on turn 4.
That's a good curve. So what's good about Swordfish here is you can even deny the collection from Ariana
Yeah, that is
and
pretty
get
cool.
really aggressive with this. Yeah.
Loving how this, yeah, loving how the curve is lining up for Kilt here. I mean, Arrow's got a great start as well. Plenty of creatures to play, not contested by Soul Drain.
Yeah, and you see how this actually all comes down to using the choking
Yeah.
turn 2.
Oh,
Because Arrow could have.
that I was not expecting.
Me neither.
Oh my. That's
Yeah,
a Celeste. But that's not an active Celeste. Actually, I'm not sure. Does it glow
it's
yellow
not.
for the spectator?
But
I
it
assume it
should
would.
only glow if it is able to be played
Mm-hmm.
with the Faeria amount, I think.
Oh, I see, I see. Yeah, so for new players who are curious, if Celeste is active, his ability is active, meaning there's one copy of every card in your deck. And I suppose if it's playable, you have 10 Faeria. This will glow yellow to let you know that you've met the requirements. But this looked like a standard yellow flyers from Arrow. I am so surprised that this was Celeste. He just got great
Me
cards.
too. So yeah, really good early game for Arrow, but
Yeah, the Celeste
potentially a bit
might be
behind because of the
tough.
early choking.
Yeah. Virgin Force is
Setting up the
great here.
Verdrin. Yeah,
Like, you
that's
have that.
potentially a 2-turn clock.
Yeah, that Horsemaster in hand lets that Virgin be very threatening. We got the Glide Hopper. This is indeed a Celeste list then. That's really cool. Is he gonna go face?
Looks like it. But at this pace, he's not out racing.
No, he's not. I mean, he doesn't know that there's a Horsemaster in hand, but I mean, Kilt could have any number of tools to send this Virgin for face. It could be training, could be Horsemaster, could be
And
Fanatic.
it's not even that alone. If you look
Hmm.
at Swordfish, as a potential answer,
Yeah,
it could have also come down and locked out Celeste from hitting face.
true. That's a 10 Faeria investment that isn't going to win you the game. And Kilt's just going to say, I don't care about this Celeste. I'm going face with everything I have.
Yeah, he's committed now.
Yep, so he better be confident that he can close out this game. I think he is. I mean, I would be feeling pretty happy with my opponent at 9 life and me having a nice juicy Virgin Force and all this other stuff at face. Especially with
Yeah,
Celeste.
so the problem about Celeste is you're at 6 attack, which is just under the, reasonable threshold of 7, and 7 is what you need for a 3-turn clock. So being
Yeah.
at 6, you would need another creature at aggressive here.
Yeah. And just like that, I think Arrow might be dead here. That's gonna be
Yeah.
it. Tempo pulling its
Even
weight.
Soul Drain doesn't save him.
So Arrow gets a chance to counter. What's the pick here? Probably the yellow. I mean, you've got these nasty 4/6s to fight through, but generally, I think with this sort of large statted build, Flyers should do all right. Goes for the airbot.
It's a burn, yeah. Now, depending on how this matchup goes, I think Guild either runs through or maybe Arrow can pivot back.
It is the Husk. Yeah, so Arrow's got to build up to 6 lands against this tempo list.
He does, yeah.
great early collectors. We've got Airbot into Storyteller. The Airbot can also go opposite side pretty easily because he is Kilt is a tempo list. Should be able to get this Airbot into double collection uncontested.
Yeah, there's pretty much only Soul Drain here that should be a consideration. And
Mm,
not even at this point. So yeah, setting up double collection looks really good.
yeah.
And also getting out the Teller early so you don't heal your opponent after you damage them with your pings like Cypher's Wrath is really good usually.
Yeah, this being a sort of burn-oriented list, we want to get that healing out of the way first.
Yeah, as Kilt, you have to be concerned with pushing down one side here and trying to get into Aru's face as soon as possible before he can ramp up to Scourge Flame Spectre. I think that's your best shot at winning this.
Yep.
Explorer is probably the play here. You want something sturdy. Taking the second forest is okay.
Sturdy
But it
and
also
sticky.
means your Verdant Force might be behind now. So
yeah, you're not going to be able to get that Virgin Force super aggro. Pre-buffs to play around the Cypher's Wrath. Pretty heads-up play. We also get this Overgrown Tower starting to get pinged before any like ping damage comes from Arrow. I don't know if there is any ping damage though in this type of list. There's no ground shakers, so you don't really have to worry about that.
But yeah, I think it's more about just getting the tower out of your hand. Since you have a very cheap hand, you can afford to go under 4 cards next turn by pre-buffing. That should be your main focus. So
yeah.
Ooh, that's also a good pickup.
Swordfish is very nice. So we can go under Threshold. It'll require a pre-buff. 2 pre-buffs. I wonder if he's going to go for that, or if it even matters. If you don't care about that one Husk Ping, you want to invest those buffs later.
Yeah, that's fair. I think that's an okay assessment. And yeah, Arrow is just struggling painfully here, trying to get this Grimguard to work.
These are the understated creatures we were talking about. That 2 damage...
not the greatest time.
Yeah, the 2 combat damage to opponent plays into your game plan, perhaps, but when your opponent's on 20 life, it really makes no difference. You just played a 4-cost 2/5, essentially. With Taunt, but the Taunt's not super relevant right now. And this Savannah Explorer is just gonna clobber its way through all these Grimguards.
Yeah, you actually have a really nice line here of, utilizing the Swordfish as well if you want to. Just be a bit more annoying. And try to take that center spot as well.
Yeah, that Swordfish with the Overgrown Tower. Let's Overgrown Towers grab some really nice stats. Being able to divvy out the stats like this, we can boost our numbers to 5 attack on both these creatures.
In this position, I think it was perfectly fine to skip a collection, just to get the positional advantage.
Yeah. That's fair. Oh, right, we didn't go for Swordfish. Gonna slow play it a little bit. Interesting. Yeah, I do think that Kilt wants to be a bit more aggressive, because this... going slow means you're giving your opponent time to build up the Scourge Flame.
Yeah, and you have to ask yourself, do you really want to set up a collection with the 4/3? It requires
Yeah.
yet another special land invested
Yeah.
in
Yet
in
another
that
special
side.
land, and your only aggro land really is this desert that's kind of awkwardly set in the middle. So this could, this one decision might be tough on Kilt later in the match.
And you'd really know what's in Eru's hand right now. Um, by Eru going up for all these special lands, it's pretty safe to tell there's a Scourge Flame coming down next turn.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you would be drawing, right, to find your husk, your combo pieces.
And Kilt really has no block for this. There are 2 attacking lands, potentially, from Eru. Unless you drop the Taunt Face, I suppose.
Yeah, but then that's another 5 area invested in not going aggressive.
Yeah.
Actually, another 6 area if you pre-buff with the Campfire.
Though
So you're really losing out on a lot of pressure.
I kind of think the Swordfish does have to go defensive, though. I mean, what happens if Scourge Flame comes down, this Owlin Ranger gets Flame Boosted, now what? I mean, you can Horse Master the Swordfish, but actually that Scourge Flame is gonna go out of range. Like, ouch.
Yeah.
Big ouch.
Big ouch indeed. I think a bit premature to go clear right side here. You could have also flash wind it and then taken out the Outlange with a Surface Wrath and then kept the Flame Burst for later.
Yeah, I don't think the right side was super important there.
It also allows you to develop a second airbot aggressive if you take that line.
Right. Wait, not Flame Burst, not clearing the Owlin Ranger though.
That has to be a mistake.
Yeah, that seems like a big mistake.
He knows there's a Campfire in hand.
Yeah, I mean, just simply taking out the Owlin Ranger means that Kilt's got to invest a lot of stuff to kill the Scourge Flame. I think he was super cool with that.
Yeah. Clearing the Explorer doesn't really accomplish too much here, just from looking at how the game plays out.
Yeah.
Already committed to the race by playing the Scourge Flame, right? So.
Yeah. And Kilt's gonna work on setting up a bunch of creatures, potentially trying to control the board next turn. This double guidance in Kilt's hand is really nice. Really nice.
Yeah, and remember how we talked about this earlier? I think I told you about keeping removal in hand and the importance of creating an imbalance on the field.
Yeah, we talked a bit about this off stream.
Yeah. So what Arrow could have done here is, glob up the left side and sort of force a response from Killed, which he really was constrained using the Horse Master to get it clear. Whereas now you've given him so much more to work with.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Holding removal tools can really swing the board in your favor later on. I mean, maybe he was worried about that Explorer zipping face with Horsemaster or training or something, but that was really the only thing that was potentially going face. Everything else was out of range. I mean, he already had the Swordfish that could potentially go face. Draws into the second Scourge Flame, so he's not going to be able to produce a land, which is super awkward. I think you just hold on to the Scourge Flame for now. Gonna play it though. Oh, gonna use the flash wind? Okay.
It takes the pre-hit, which is really heads up.
Yeah, pre-hit is nice. Gets a little bit of extra damage. Gotta take that heal. Trading off this 5-2 is kind of nice because you take away that potential Cypher's Wrath target. But, man, Verduran Force does have a place to go, but it just took so many lands to get there. Not stepping up the Swordfish either. I really think that Kilt needs all the aggro he can get. But we do have the next Scourge Flame, so I think that's going to be it. We got Scourge Flame, Flame Burst. Bam. And Burn taking it. Alright, moving on to the next one. So Kilt's got a red-yellow, kind of a red-yellow, it's red with a splash of yellow, and a blue list. Not great list to fight into Burn, though I think blue could do some work. It's a 4.7, so I guess it's probably a 7s list. Blue can generally be pretty aggro, which is what you need against this. Blue can also collect a lot, but nope, gonna go for the red list. This could be something aggressive as well. 26 for... There are 2 multicolored creatures in this, I think. So... what that is, I don't know. Airbot?
Could be Eel, perhaps?
Could be Eel.
Be an angry list. Then splashing only 2 for angry seems a bit much.
Yeah,
Max.
It looks like Max. So the 2 deserts is probably just 2 airbot. Interesting that you don't go for 3 airbot in the Max list. Airbot is probably one of your best cards.
Yeah, I mean, if you're committing to making the desert, you might as well go 3, I think.
Yeah, oh my. Oh my. We are going aggro with this Max list. Perhaps that's why.
Daru does have a nice start here. Getting to set up 2 collectors.
2 collectors that aren't going to be threatened by detonates because they're so far away from everything.
Again, it could also turn if picks up a second shaker here. That would be fantastic.
Yeah, that's true. So
Goes for the horse next turn, sets it up.
that's nice. We have invested all of our mountains now, though. I assume, because if there's deserts in this list, then it's probably 3 mountain, 1 desert.
Aru's hand is not equipped to deal with this at all.
No, that's it's a big 5/6 statted creature. Though I don't know what Aru has in the list that can really deal with Ground Shaker. I suppose you could just stall with like Merchant or something. Just gonna go off to the side with the Grimguard. Now does this Ground Shaker go face? Or does he... Go for the Grimguard. The Grimguard's not super important to clear right now because Eru already has a collector set up. And you're not expecting any sort of buffs or anything, so clearing the Grimguard doesn't really do much. He is going to go for the clear, though. Set up another creature.
Right, so maybe he's setting up a big detonator.
Could happen. It's going to be super awkward without the airbot, though. I like this line from Eru. Gets to clear off the ground shaker and set up a double collector with the merchant. Those for Phantasm. I kind of feel like the Silent Warrior was almost better, but I guess Phantasm can deal with Captain. That's fair. Kind of?
I agree. The Warrior looked okay.
Yeah, now that I think about it, you transformed it into a 5/3. I don't know if Phantasm's really doing that much for you. Because the other thing is, the Silent Warrior... I mean, the Phantasm doesn't do much for your opponent. Because as Eru... I mean, maybe once Scourge Flame comes down it does something, but even still, you get a 5/3. Silent Warrior's... a lot better stats.
Yeah, and especially now, since you've accumulated this much Faeria, you are actually priced into drawing a lot. But having to make the land, it's a bit of a sketchy situation now.
Yeah, you gotta build the land for the Phantasm because of this big Faeria pool. You have to play stuff here. And if you had the Silent Warrior, that's stuff to play. Also now, like, there's just no great spot for the Phantasm to come down anyways. And now with that draw, Eru's 2 turns away from Scourge Flame.
And Kilt is mustering quite the offense here. Axe Grinder is tough to deal with if you're not equipped, which Eru isn't at the moment.
5/4 is a super efficient stat line. Oh, steps onto his land. Oh, I guess he can't play anything anyways. Fair enough. Finds the husk, not what Eru wants. With this 15 Faeria in hand. Really desperately needs something to play here. Kilt is
because he also wants to build up hands, right, for this action.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough to find a spot for the husk.
I mean, you probably just put it on the left side where all this is to try and take away... Oh, I don't like it there. Oh, you're playing the Phantasm. Okay. Yeah, so Husk with now 2 life, actually threatened by this airbot. I love it.
Is Bomb Slinger detonate though?
Ooh. Ooh.
It gives you a pretty good lethal setup.
That is pretty fun. And you got triple detonate. I mean, might as well pop some of them now. That Bomb Slinger's not going to get a better target.
Oh.
But goes for the full clear.
No.
Which means that... Oh my. I don't know if... This is...
I don't think that was...
No, Airbots just lined up so nicely for this trade. Nothing in Kilt's hand can prevent that. And that's a lot of potential aggro that Kilt could have had. And now you've given Eru a chance to double Scourge Flame your face. Oh my, what a disaster.
It's a pretty big disaster, yeah.
And the Leia coming down
you're not even
aggro
setting
instead
up
of defensive.
soon.
Oh no. I'm scared, Lizard.
Oh,
This is just double Scourge Flame, right?
yeah. You have to expect the Scourge Flame if you see Arrow committing these lands.
Oh, right, I guess you can
Oh,
Storyteller.
even the Flash Wind.
Wait, you
Perfect.
can't. Wait, why Storyteller though?
So, yeah, what you can do is you can play a Scourge Flame left side here, and then you Cyphers. Oh, he missed it. Yeah, so he could have had a full. He could have had a clear on the Horsemaster with a double collection Scourge Flame left side.
Yeah. Right,
So a
right.
bit too hasty there.
Yeah, and then you can go face with the other one. I really liked getting both Scourge
Yeah.
Flames down this turn.
Me too, me too. Yeah, the left side double collection would have enabled that.
There is sadly no clear still from Kilt. We are just a little shy. Bomb Slinger Detonate would have been nice, but there's
Can't
somehow no more
afford it now,
mechs
yeah.
left on Kilt's side. How did this happen? Suddenly we've got only merchant cards? And Laya. No mechs.
Yeah, I think Kilt really missed his window here,
He really did.
which is a bit unfortunate.
Going for a single detonate. Um,
It's not enough.
oh my goodness. Is there lethal here from Eru? There is.
There's a lethal, yeah.
That is so
Don't even have to
sad.
think too much about it.
I think Kilt could have won that game. I think he robbed himself.
I think he could have won the last two games, yeah.
Mm,
But that, it takes experience to know the
it
matchups
does.
and to know when you have to go for aggression and so on.
Yep,
It might not be immediate obvious.
and Eru's been around for a while. Perhaps that is simply experience showing. Let me make sure the players are ready instead of continually pressing ready. Okay. So we now have the blue to fight. I actually don't think blue has too bad a matchup here. You can go kind of aggressive. Well, this is potentially something more expensive, more greedier with that average Faeria count. Really likes the Horse Masters. Interesting. Oh my, there's a Coral Polywog.
Looks like it. Yes, your eyes are not deceiving.
Am I dreaming? Or is this a Coral Polywog?
No. 100% collie, 10% wog. No matter the distribution, it's going to come down. Maybe not this turn though, but
Oh, love
potentially
it.
next turn.
Setting up the double neutral. Kilt has
Yeah,
played with
yeah.
this card before. He understands the potential of the Wog. So this double neutral setup allows Kilt to go for Lake next turn and double collect. This is a very strange card in that you actually harvest first before the gift ability triggers. So this Polywog will come down, trigger, and then the gift activates. Arrow is not prepared.
It's gonna be a fantastic double collection here.
Boom.
That even gets you one step closer to, flipping your Archons.
One step closer to flipping the Archon. It
Potentially
enables the
following
Water
up here with
Ellie.
a Mystic Beast.
What a crazy turn. Typically Polywog is like not very good, but if you can get that early double collection off. That's quite nice. That's a 5 cost 5/7 toe ship. That's set up with 2 life.
Yeah, it really does shine here.
And that speed is super important. Eru very far off of everything. Going a second means he's really far off of Husk. Obviously really far off of Scourge Flame. We pretty much just have the Grimguard, which again is very awkward into this 5 attack statted creature. Going to attempt to put the Grimguard right side. I think Kilt can just ignore that.
Yeah, and Mystic Beast is a fantastic follow-up here for Kilt.
It really
It
is.
really puts on the pressure. And especially since the Grimguard is far away now from home.
Yeah, and he's far away, so the Water Ellie is free to collect left side. He doesn't really care about right side at all. There's no trainings in this type of list. There's no room. So Eru's Grimguard is going to be super slow, just chunking its way up. Even going to get the Mochi.
Like we see the Mochi as well. So potentially a 7 cost reduced.
Maybe hoping for a Phantasm top deck. That would be pretty huge. With this Grimguard step up.
Yeah.
But he's going to say no Phantasm for you. Do you get the Husk? Kilt was unable to play out of Husk range. I think he actually took a draw. No, he did a +1. Okay, let's just go all in face.
I think either way the Mystic Beast wants to sit on that mountain.
Yeah.
Might as well take that.
Go there. Probably set up an Archon aggro. You can potentially play a 7 cost next turn to buff the Archon.
Yeah, possible.
Because you're what? You're on 6 next turn if you drop the Archon, so you can +1 into the Polywog even. Setting up the lake. So, 2 options here. You can set up the lake on right side to set up that Polywog. Oh, Water Ellie. Really? I don't think I agree with the Water Ellie, but if you had dropped the Archon there, you could potentially set up like Polywog into a collection. I guess you can't really do that. You don't have enough space. But I still liked the Archon there. You had so much threat range. You could have just set the Archon up on left side to protect it against Storyteller's Cypher's Wrath. Eru doesn't find the Wrath though, so this 3/3 is a little awkward to deal with.
I think he was also fishing for a Flash Wind.
Might be fishing for it a second time. Finds it.
And he finds it. He healed, killed in the process by a fair amount. Which might not be what you wanted.
Yeah, he's
Doesn't
gonna
go
have to
for it.
close. Ah, the Colossus got discounted. That's pretty big. We did lose 1 discount, right? Because
Yeah.
this should be on 1 if we got the full discount. But that's okay. Not gonna
I think that's
complain at
perfectly
a
fine.
2 cost Colossus.
Exactly. You have a good line here. You can push for 10. Then you set up Colossus and it should be game, I think. Especially since you have a Transform in hand. So you keep Transform open for Grimguards to come down for movement nons.
Yeah, with
Then all you really need is the Mystic Beam to connect.
yeah, and 19 life. You're on 19 life. Just throw on the aggro here and you're fine. Looks like that water lily is gonna come over and take a value clear instead. I much prefer setting up the lethal, but
Me too, me too. If you're
'cause
pushing for 10 here, there's really no way that you can lose. Even a second task would be manageable. You'd kill through that. Arrow is a bit in a... I think there's a bit of mismanagement going on here. Sitting on 13 instead of 14 is is maybe not what you're aiming for.
you can get the extra collection with
Potentially
that
by
flash
using
wind.
double flash wind, you could get a collection in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do we have here? We've got 11. Yeah, Area's gonna have to deal with 2 of those creatures to survive this. And his only option is using the Scourge Flame. Or taunting. The only option is using double Scourge Flame to clear a Water Ellie or taunting. And the taunt makes sense. But now you don't have a space for Scourge Flame. I mean...
He could flash wind away the Archon, and then hit with the Grimguard and the Scourge.
Right. Yeah, I liked flash winding the Archon away. This feels awful for yourself. I mean, you lost a Grimguard, and you're losing the Scourge Flame in the process. If you had used the flash wind, you could have gotten 2 extra damage to face, and the Grimguard stays alive.
That's a nice pickup. Yeah.
Frogify for the lethal.
Act lethal.
Kilt wanted to win one of those matches, and there's the win. And now we're tied up 2-2. So let me ask if they're ready for the final match. 10 seconds, Kilt says. So this has been really exciting. Some off-brand decks, off-brand cards from both players. Not typically meta cards you see, so it's been a really exciting one. Who are we waiting on? Oh, Lizard, you're offline apparently? Are you here?
Yeah, some technical difficulty.
No worries.
I'll be back shortly, hopefully. Internet is acting up a bit. Well.
Oh, I think Lizard may have dropped. Alright, Blizzard is suggesting we get Summer in, so I assume there is some very technical difficulties on Blizzard's end. Alright, let me send a message to Summer. It looks like he's online. Can get another casting buddy here. You may kick him, Eru says. I've been given the Eru approval to kick Lizard. Alright, we're gonna get in Summer. Let's give him a call. Excuse me. Let me invite him as well. If he's on.
Hello.
Hello. How's it going, Summer?
It's good. I woke up, right? It's like 5 minutes after the tournament started, so like, yeah. After I rolled over, went back to sleep for a little bit.
Fair. I will invite you to the lobby if I don't see you online just yet, though.
Oh yeah, I need to press buttons.
Yes. Buttons must be
Or like
pressed.
right now, or like how soon?
Right now. We are on the final match of Arrow vs. Cult.
Okay.
We're just waiting.
For me, of all people. Okay. Yeah, quick register some text. So I'm allowed to be in. Is Dems the rules? Okay. If you want to like intro it in so it's a little bit smoother, then just go.
Oh, we're in. We are in. We're in the thick of it. We're just Lizard unexpectedly crashed, so we are just waiting on waiting on you.
Okay.
Unless you want me to start. I don't know how long.
No. You tell me. Like, are we talking to all the lovely people?
We're talking to all the lovely people.
Okay. Hi,
hello, lovely people. This is Summer Flame. He's been around for a long time as well. Not as long as
I don't have my resume on me. But no, I think Lizard predates me a little bit. Not many people predate Lizard at this point. Okay, register Dex.
I think so.
Go.
It went Lizard. I think I came in next, and then Summer came in after. You came in around Oversky, right?
That's when I started like understanding the game. Yeah. I was technically around like a few months prior to that, but I was, you know, new player things.
Right, so we probably started near the same time. Alright, let me...
Oh, I get the final match.
You do?
I thought you meant like the finals.
No. Well, we're almost there. This is the semifinals. I'm just gonna ask if they're ready to go. Alright, here we go. After some technical difficulties...
You're telling me the Polywogs overcame the Spectres?
They did. It was quite the spectacle.
Oh, I even see there's a third Polywog. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, we got that Polywog opener with the double neutral. The aggro was too much to handle.
Is there a Herald in this list too?
Or is it Mochi's? I didn't see a Herald. It's just Mochi.
Okay. Well, I just see a 2-cost Colossus, and I have questions.
Yeah, that was the Mochi's doing. So Aru's, what was this? Was it? Oh yeah, this is the red yellow. No. He's switched. This is pure yellow. Yellow Flyers versus the Polywog Sevens.
Yep, we're good on time.
Yeah, both players should have plenty of time. The matches went reasonably quick. We had a tempo list from Kilt near the beginning.
Yeah, I saw. It's not often you see green yellow. I was actually thinking about it this week, but
yeah, double emissary start from Eru.
He set it up perfectly. He got the open. He set up the opening like, oh, I'm gonna draw double emissary, and then he did it.
He knew it was coming.
Manifested his destiny into the world. Meanwhile, this 4/4. Although it'll likely be safe for another turn because this tower line is not... Makes you feel queasy as a player when you're not collecting and trading.
Yeah, but the 4/4 trade is really nice. Oh, it's a Sky Captain list. Are we gonna see the tower? It lines up reasonably nice with the Sky Captain, though you have to put the Sky Captain on right side.
Have to? You can send the right side. Oh.
Right.
I mean, you
Yeah.
want to put the Sky Captain on right side.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, you go with the right emissary, take out the 4/4. Can even get a desert on the left side.
Nope. No, thank you. Did not
Does
want.
not want it. Gonna try to set up the Sky Captain into a double collection spot later on.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think of the Horse Master?
It makes me so happy. I wanted to do a Horsemaster Blue for so long.
I
But
mean, you got
just have so
some.
many things that don't make sense to have Horsemaster with, so you have to like make a really weird deck. And this might be it. We might have figured it out.
I mean, you got the solid creatures like the Phantasm and the Polywog, but I mean the Polywogs kind of mess with your lands a little bit.
Mm-hmm. What do you think about this Phantasm?
It was maybe premature, but I mean, I guess he's protecting against the tower, but
I feel like we just kind of threw a lot of Faeria away very quickly.
yeah, I mean, you didn't really care about the 3/3 dying to the 5/3.
I feel like we in fact downgraded our creature.
I agree. I think we did downgrade the creature. We no longer have a jumper. Although we have a Horse Master.
We set it up perfectly.
Okay, unfortunately...
yeah, we know what's happening this turn. People love to frogify Manta Riders. It's happening.
It's just a... It doesn't really accomplish much.
It doesn't matter. People love to frogify Manta Riders. I'm surprised he hasn't already done it. I guess he's not been... He doesn't have that curse that so many others have.
I mean, Frogify on Manta Rider is nice when you can get the trade.
Yeah. It's like slightly more expensive Flame Burst.
Yeah, but you get to take out both creatures, so...
Yeah.
Oh, right, you get the 2/2 to survive. Oh, right, it is a slightly more expensive Flame Burst.
It's okay. It's okay. This has been
I see it now.
one of those random summer thoughts. Been rattling around my head for years. We see a Vulture pick up.
Vulture's not gonna do a lot.
Doesn't really need to be quite yet. Imagine we'll see the trade on the Phantasm this turn with the tower.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Although this Archon can now get Horsemaster to go clear.
Wow.
Is this Kalima 4/7? No.
Iona's an option to try and take out this 4/4. Oh, I suppose you can do the same with Kalim, yeah.
But yeah, I don't think Arrow's playing around the Horsemaster.
No.
It's not a typical choice in blue, but I imagine we'll see it here because it's the only shiny card. Maybe not. Maybe just swing the Archon right side. Just to...
You can attempt, it's probably dead because on board the Kalim's in threat range already. It's probably just Horsemaster and pray that something sticks. I don't know. I don't know. It's really rough because the Kalim's in trade range no matter what.
I think this is a little bit downhill from just like all the Faeria we threw away with that Phantasm line.
Yeah, 7 Faeria gone.
Like, yeah, there was a 5/3 on the I was gonna point out this Horsemaster's position if you wanted to protect the Archon.
Yeah, I like it.
Still some solid lines, but I think there's just some familiarity to build up with the typical ebb and flow of the games.
Yeah, I agree. I think Kilt has made some really solid lines throughout these series, but just one turn does him in, I think.
Yeah. Game has a lot to learn, and there's a lot of weird kind of things you have to get used to with the.
There is. It's a very difficult game, especially at a high level. Especially when you face players who have been around for a long time, who know these tiny little improvements on play.
And yeah, like everything comes down to kind of bringing all these different skills together. So he's got the solid lineup. Like from every deck I've seen, it's been pretty solid.
Yeah, and I like
I think
the uniqueness to the lists too.
yes, unfettered by our notions of meta.
Gonna buff up this Archon, which is a pretty significant buff. We do see the Vulture in hand, but I mean, 4 life into 3 attackers is pretty good. Generally.
Yep. Yeah, you can set up either the if we had a little bit more Faeria, we could do a champion Vulture line, but we do not. So it might just be the Vulture on the Woggle after double trade.
The Woggle. I love the name.
Yeah. I don't know. It's a lot of syllables. Polywoggle. Oh, there's no Woggle.
No.
I'm thinking of the other game, the Storybook Brawl. There's a Woggle in that
Oh.
game. I understand. There's the problem.
Little Woggle. He's hovering the Vulture. It's not bad. I mean, you line up stats to trade the Archon. You do have to double trade creatures, which kind of sucks.
It's not super important to do anything this turn. You're ahead on collection, you're ahead on board. You could probably just start building up stuff. You could even start putting the champion face.
Yeah.
Just because it's a 7/7.
True.
Nope. Oh, you could get the Kaleem face this turn if you towered it.
Right. Kaleem face isn't bad.
Really, yeah, I think I really like that line because you have a 7/7 champion that can follow up with Kaleem. And you just kind of because he spent 7 on a 5/7 in the well, so.
Yeah, one of the issues with the Polywog is it might have a cool early game play, but if it's not collecting, it's a 7 cost 5/7.
Yep. And it's that's kind of one of Yellow's strengths is it can kind of punish over-investing in one particular area. Like the 6/4 was like not enough obviously, but the 5/7 plus the 6/4 is a lot put in one place. The Iona doesn't have to trade into anything because it can kind of just be there. So you're not giving up collection if you send the Kaleem all the way face.
And the Iona can kind of body block for a while.
Yep.
Gonna slow play and reset. Makes sense. Gather up some collections. Try and get a handle on these walls. This Vulture obviously is in trade range. Really sucks with the Soul Drain there. Oh.
Now we're going face. Maybe?
Face.
So we can make an aggressive desert.
Oh, we're gonna drop the champion and then go for the kill? Fair enough. Oh. Really? I'm confused by that.
It's one of those like maybe you couldn't see the Kaleem line before, but like has the feeling of, oh, you stuck between the wells, I can go face now. That's definitely a.
But I mean, on a 7s list, and you're going keeping a double collector alive.
Solid +1. You can kill the Archon now with the champion. That's fun.
Right?
By moving, yeah. We were so close to a full clear last turn. I mean, we had it, but we didn't want it.
Yeah.
I want it now.
I mean, do you have to go for the full clear? This Phantasm sitting in the center doing nothing.
I guess you could go face with the 6/4 if you really wanted to, but uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
We're doing
Didn't see it.
I guess we're getting a. Well, I mean, it gets an extra collect this way.
I guess, but like, why not
But
just
yes,
hold the
generally
flash
you're-
wind?
Yeah, generally it's. I would value Flash Wind a little bit higher than a.
Those lines are tricky to
Faeria.
see, where you can move your opponent and use your opponent's mobility to your advantage. Because typically you're using champion to move your own creatures, but you can use opponent's mobility.
Against them. It's a very strange, because you're not used to being able to move them more than one at a time.
Yeah.
By default, most creatures don't have that much cool stuff going on.
Mm.
That's definitely a really weird thing in that match, in that mirror, when you have
It's a
the,
great... Yeah.
where you can move their champion into your Manta Rider sort of thing.
Yeah, it's great in the mirror. We have a 5/5 Bloodfly here.
It's gonna get frogified. I'm feeling it. And then we're gonna have to wait until this 2/4. Oh, we have a Manta Rider too. Okay, good. We can speed things along.
And a discounted Phantasm. All these Phantasms coming down on the opponent's creatures.
Yeah. No, we got one on the Water Elemental. Early.
Oh, right.
So we're getting some variety. Ninja Toad's a good follow-up when your board's empty, but I don't know if it's going to be enough here. Kilt doing his best. Hang on. But pressure's building up. Arrow's keeping a sturdy supply of collection.
Yep. All this expensive investment, and Arrow's got a lot of cheap investment.
At this point, pressure is overwhelming.
It's too much. And Arrow's going to take the victory and move on to actually the finals. But very exciting series with some unique decks from both players. So the finals are going to be... let me check.
Arrow and Cheese.
Arrow versus Cheese. So Arrow's got a Titan to take down. So let's set that match up. Perhaps Arrow wants a bit of a break, but we'll set the lobby up. I have asked Arrow if he's ready, so we are ready. We're back. And let's go with the grand finals of the Ruunin Open. Cheese versus Arrow. We got double Krog lineups.
Cheese respects Krog. He knows. He knows the power.
Cheese knows. I'm happy that Kilt had the heads-up play of banning the Krog too, because Krog can really turn matchups in the wrong directions. So Arrow probably bans Krog as well.
Yeah, the burn deck, the Husk deck cannot handle Krog at all. Flyers might be okay.
Flyers might be okay. And then
Celeste
the
deck, I have no idea.
Yeah, Celeste is really up there.
I didn't know it was a Celeste deck because I just saw the Glide Hopper, I saw the shifting tides, like this is this funky deck, and
yeah, it started off as a regular Flyers, and we're like, okay, it's playing regular Flyers, there's just a splash of blue in here for some reason, and then we saw the Celeste pop up and we're like, oh, surprise.
yes, things have been explained. Okay, no Krogs will be happening today. That's okay.
Good. No Krog. Cheese gonna start with Disciple. Seems like his
Yep.
standard lead list.
Yep. He's very confident in this list. He's been espousing its strengths.
Air starting with
I think
Celeste. Makes sense.
Yep.
That's the wild card.
So this deck, does it have a Nightmare in it?
Who knows? It has a Choking Sand. We know that much.
Okay, well that's not going to be too much help for the Disciple.
Mm-hmm.
I imagine that will start at a creature size of slightly higher than 3/3, I hope. That seems to be the typical behavior.
So Air might have to be super aggressive this game. Potentially push down one side just to get these flyers aggro, I don't know.
Yeah, it'll depend on how much he respects the deck as a whole, and if Cheese can find a Disciple in the early turns.
Yeah.
Because if you just miss that card, not a whole lot you can kind of do to defend yourself.
Yeah, nice. We are going aggro. Gonna give up right side collection. Arrow respecting the massive stats that Disciple can build up to. And just rushing face.
Oh wow.
Ooh.
Even
Even
get
got the
a Vulture
air
down this
alley.
turn?
I like it. It's only a 1 attack Vulture, but hey, why not? You can use it to step on lands, which is pretty huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like just going aggro.
I think we're having some existential doubts on where this Iona should step.
I kind of like the 5-2 stepping up and the 2-1 switching places, but I also don't understand the aerially center, but maybe he wants to, like,
One of those things.
threaten Celestial Tower, but he's Celeste. I don't know.
Double map dealer.
Oh,
Does the Airly go face or does it clear an air map dealer? What do you think?
I think we're going face. I mean, sidestep that Vulture over, clear one of the 0-1s.
Oh,
Oh, that is a really good top deck. Can step on
this might
land
be
with
huge
it.
for the overall series. Like if Arrow can just cut off
Yeah.
this Disciple list.
We can step on both the lakes if we want to, too.
Oh, with the ice.
This... And we're going for
Oh
it.
my god, it's happening.
Oh, I
mean,
like
you can-
it. I like it a lot.
Cheese will probably barter into a soldier. Oh, maybe he won't. Oh,
No soldiering.
soldiering.
See, this because he's Celeste. There's only one soldier in the list and so many events to draw into. But Choking Sand will work. It's just very
Is this the Celeste
expensive.
list? I thought this was just flyers.
This
I
is the
wasn't
Celeste
sure.
list. This is the Celeste list.
Amazing. Okay, we found a Disciple.
One
How big can it
Disciple,
get?
but it can get pretty big actually with that Soul Pact and all this draw.
With the barter? Oh, wait, is the barter? Okay, never mind.
And that's really too bad the Airly's out of position now. 'Cause I don't know if he's going to be able to deal with this. Oh my.
Okay.
There is a nightmare.
There is a nightmare.
But now we've got a 10-10 Disciple to deal with. Jesus. Oh no.
Volley is kind of interesting.
Volley's
This is training in
nice.
hand.
Volley's nice. Probably
We're
just
no
see.
longer going face.
Yeah. Yeah, even if the Airly was in a more aggressive spot, I guess it didn't matter. I like Claim Center. You threaten that face. You threaten everything. Now, if Aaron knows Cheese's list, he knows it's slower. So he has time.
Well,
Well,
if he gets carpet right
Not
here.
if he gets carpet, fair. Oh no. It's over now.
Gameplay.
Oh, what an amazing interactive card.
Yes. I understand now more of Cheese's complaints because typically the disciples I'm more familiar with are a little bit more robust in
Mm-hmm.
terms of mobility. They'll have like some inbuilt mobility, so even if you don't draw carpet, you can still do a thing.
Yeah,
But
no, I like
Cheese
Cheese's.
has nothing except for carpet.
I like Cheese's take there too, because carpet's like an instant win, and other movement tricks are less so, and they slow the deck down a bit. But even with that,
I think the biggest change is having the soul drains on top of barters. I think it gives you a lot of more tempo tools where you don't need to kind of, you're not relying solely on the disciple, because sometimes if you don't have enough tempo, disciple alone just doesn't cut it. Like if they have 2 manta riders into your disciple, even if it's a 10-10, it still just dies.
mm-hmm.
But having the soul drain lets you kind of clean up a lot of the different aspects of it.
Yeah. And even with that amazing start from Arrow, he could not take down the Disciple. So we're going to try again with another Flyers list. A more consistent Flyers list. Though I think the inconsistency is what helped him out a lot, to be honest. He had the weird
these both
Skyguard.
This I mean, this hand is super slow. I don't know what this land is.
So I think
Okay.
he's just mouse is in the wrong position. Yeah, look at this double soul, triple soul drain. Doesn't go for it, holding on until he finds Disciple, so holding these events until the last moment.
And also, you just don't need to do anything. It's not like
Yeah, it's
he's
not
already had to make
threatening
a choice
anything.
with clearing or collecting.
Yep, just
little
gonna
pop.
see him step up. Nice.
Going to shell out a soul drain here.
Also, really nice cleanup using the 1/1 body.
Yep.
Although
these bloatflies, party time.
Yeah, I mean, let's just go Vulture and Bloatfly.
I don't think you need to vulture this turn. I think you just.
Yeah, I
double
guess
bloatfly.
you just double Bloatfly. Fair enough.
You don't have a good land for the vulture. It's very tempting to have an
Yeah.
O3 on the board, but
That's fair. Why not? Why not put one face?
it can threaten the lake more directly is one option. Okay, Cheese is getting desperate. He's starting to play some draw cards.
Yep.
Another failed doesn't quite get you there.
Oh, found the
Found the-
Stargazer. That's big draw.
Healer.
There he
There's
is.
a disciple.
Is this a little premature? Can he
I
save
think
this?
this is- I mean, he just makes it a 6, like a 7/7. That's it, right?
Right, he's got double drain to save it anyways.
Quad drain.
Quad drain. Yeah, it's gonna be tough for Era to find another 3 damage on top of that 1 damage ping. Which is very sad. 6/6 is such manageable
If he had
stats.
top decked a soul drain, he would have won on the spot here. But instead, the soul drains are in his deck, betraying him into barter.
Yeah.
His champions are brutal, but you probably still play both anyway,
Yeah. I think so.
just to like start getting stuff going on board. Maybe you don't play the second champion and you just like play a Demon Wing and the other Bloodfly.
Yeah, Demon Wing makes sense. You can use the second one for mobility.
Although these soul drains are gonna make the Demon Wing very sad.
Yeah. But it's pretty efficient to just go Demon Wing plus Bloodfly.
Yeah. Very important to keep things moving.
So like we lose one, but then he's down. He loses his double drain potential.
Second Disciple is not gonna be enough. Just because you need to drain. Well, let's see. The 0-1 steps down. You clear the 3-3. You maybe play. You can't play the training on top of a Soul Drain in the Disciple. So right now, you either have to try to split across the two Disciples, which will be max.
You can
3-3.
collect, right? So you have 7.
You can if you want to let him still have the 3-3 value. Okay, you're right. What do you mean 7? You have 6.
Well, oh, he took a draw, didn't he? Ah, right.
Yeah. Yeah, you kind of had the draw here. I think Cheese hit no soul packs. Is that the issue?
Yeah. He also spent a lot of Faeria drawing early to try and find the Disciple.
Yeah.
But that is pretty rough. I guess you just attempt to keep the second Disciple alive, except that one of them's dying. I mean, that's pretty rough, though.
Yeah,
But
basically it's full cleared here.
Yeah.
You can get the giant vulture. Wait, can you +1 do a champion play? I don't think so. You're one short.
Oh,
Very
that would be
sad.
super fun, wouldn't it?
I guess it doesn't really matter. Yeah. So you +1 champion bloatfly, and then game's over.
Like you hit there.
And you bloatfly.
Vulture this.
You can block the collection.
Yeah, it would have been exciting to get the big vulture.
Yeah, but it wasn't important because there's no disciples left on board and all that.
I
There's
mean,
still some treasure outs probably, but I think
Disciple could
the
still be
bloatfly
an,
corrupts.
like I think Disciple could still be an out. You can get a massive amount of events with soul packs and draw.
Yeah, I suppose.
Like I think the 7-3 is reasonably relevant, like marginally relevant. It's
Well, yeah, it just couldn't be
it's-
done with this board.
Yeah.
Okay, key of elements. How many maps are in the deck?
Oh,
No.
we got the Repel.
It always surprises. I wonder what Cheese's decision on picking blue. Seems like he picks blue on key a lot. I don't understand fully why. I guess he's looking for more draw typically. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Just gonna surrender. Makes sense.
Yeah, could have done the training soul drain line to kill the bloatfly, but leaves you with a value trade on board, and those options were very sad from the key. But
Yeah. I mean, maybe blue gives the best defensive tools that are also cheap. I don't know. I would think he would go for green, though. But green, yeah. So She's countering with his own flyers list. We're going to see the mirror.
Yep.
Decent starts from both players.
Demon comes down. Cheese doesn't have an immediate soul drain to punish it, so it'll probably get a few collects in. I believe the Iona same side, so solid.
Yeah, Iona probably wants to trade into that at some point to take away, like, all the one life targets. Damn, Faeria's so loud.
There's a volume slider on it.
I know, it's down to the minimum.
I have no answer for that. Kalim's stat line's a little bit awkward for all these 5/3s.
Yeah. Arrow does have vultures. No spirit thefts that we've seen so far.
Yeah.
But vulture at 3 attack is pretty good. It
this
contests
matchup, yeah.
most of the yellow.
Most of the
flyers.
things. Basically just champions the outlier.
Hmm.
And a Dune Drake if you're that feeling that spicy.
Dune Drake. Yeah, so Arrow's just gonna retreat. Makes sense. There's nothing much else you can do. Oh. Goes for the second Demon Wing.
Yep. We're just gonna see a bunch of flyers get played over time.
Wants to get something to stick.
This Kalim's set up in a really nice spot. It hits all of the deserts.
Yep, there's one more desert that can be built on A1, but
Well, you'd be very sad to put it there. You could also put it on. Yeah. Oh, okay. I thought you meant B1, but yes, A1's good.
yeah.
I don't have your fancy dancy.
Oh yeah, I don't
overlay
either,
on.
but I am starting to learn.
Cheese goes with reinforcing the right side. A tower pops up. Not a lot of trades you really want to do this turn. You could technically
Yeah.
clear the left side. And in the
Yeah.
process protect your 5-2 on the right, but I don't know about that.
Really needs to find an answer to this Kalim because it's posing the biggest threat right now. But there is no immediate answers that you can even top deck for here.
Yeah, you might just have to kind of accept that the right side's given up a little bit. The hard part is then Cheese might get an aggressive land and all that jazz.
Yeah. I kind of like just building a desert because Champion's such a huge card in this matchup.
Champion, Vulture. Seems like Arrow's list is
Yeah, you
pretty
wanna-
desert heavy.
Yeah, he's got the aerially to help with that too, as we saw. Actually, just gonna go for a clear
Double
on the
trade?
Kalim.
I don't mind this.
Wow.
Everything else is kind of step back, and
Yeah, it keeps things relatively safe. There's a
Cheese
tower
finds
top
his
deck.
own
by
tower.
Cheese.
not a obvious land that I can see where you get both cards down this turn, but I think you just get the aggressive land anyway.
I mean, we can tower the Demon Wing and then play Ariana if we want.
Oh yes, you can. I missed it. I was trying to get the clear on the
Yeah.
blip fly, but it's not super important to do this turn.
Right, so we get the aggressive land too, so
Yeah,
Ariana can come face.
she's in a great position here. I don't know what you're supposed to do as Arrow in this position with this
Yeah,
opening.
it's just kind of great.
I guess
Great top decks by Cheese. He had the Killium in the opening hand.
I think I'm not sure. I imagine Arrow is a little bit more of a greedier list, but I don't know how often that comes up.
Definitely looks like it. We can proc a Bloatfly here.
Yes, we can. And I think that's what you do because
You need,
unless Jesus wants to go
Engine.
face for a 4.
yeah, I mean, you just need the engine. And you can protect the champion. Oh, no, you can't. Jesus, a tower on board. Oh, you can, can you protect it?
Yeah.
I guess not.
On board, yes, you can. I think if you play champion, whatever the rightmost tile is,
Protect
put
with the
the-
Bloatfly.
yeah, you block the
Right.
charge line.
Yeah, I like that.
It's not dead on board, which we love.
Yeah, just put the desert down on A, B, C, D, E1. Bloatfly above it. Looks like he might be hovering.
Yeah.
Because champion actually trades really nicely into Ariana. Oh. Oh yeah, I guess we can put it there.
Yeah, this was the I kind of really struggle with like where the best place to put the desert is. I don't mind it there, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Get a nice map.
Protects against another aggro land, potentially.
Twister is
Oh.
pretty devastating.
Yeah, Twister kind of sucks.
Go full clear here. And you get to replay the Ariana.
Yeah, so we got Bloatfly engine from Arrow, but the Ariana engine from Cheese. So the one little advantage Arrow might have been able to sneak by, he no longer has.
This Twister, oh my goodness.
Yeah, that hurts. So Cheese actually has some greed in his list as well then with the Twisters.
Yeah. But I think it's just over from here.
Yep. Arrow had one chance with that Bloatfly engine. It's not going to look so much. Full glare!
But you really need to develop a creature this turn. I guess why not, sure. You're even on terms of board, but Cheese's resources in hand are just going to be overwhelming. Like, you just play the Manta Rider anywhere.
Yeah. Goes for the Ariana instead.
I guess we're on the treasure map, so...
Fair enough.
This is
right.
the third time.
Yeah, the Sky Captain.
Not what you want to have in the mirror.
Yeah, those stats aren't going to really make a big difference. Oh!
Also, it's just a 2/4.
A 4-life Emissary? Oh boy.
Yeah.
Would trade great into this 4-attack Ariana. And there's the carpet again.
Yep. Cheese is the carpet whisperer. Doesn't want it.
Doesn't have enough to use.
Doesn't need it.
Gotta put the champion backwards if you want to play spear. Goes for a double collecting spear.
You'll love to see it. I mean, Cheese has been definitely looking to keep this Ariana engine going, so he's trying to fund his venture.
Yeah. It's a cheaper airbot.
Yep. Dies to famine, though. The Manta Rider gets set up.
Tries to contest the double collection.
And with the tower on board, the Manta's making the champion be a little bit more careful about its positioning, but can just kind of hide behind the well.
Unless there's a mobility trick.
All I see are emissaries, which maybe Air would have liked earlier in the game.
Yeah.
I think maybe it's just the Demon Wings. Kind of.
It was really the Kalium. The Kalium pulled its weight.
It really did. But having that many... Yeah, the Demon Wings are not... This is not the matchup for them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Soul Drain's very devastating. The Kalium stat line is very good into flyers, especially the early flyers.
Yep.
3 attack kills everything but champion, and 6 life survives against everything.
And it's got inherent mobility, so you can either stack on it with Flash Wind or just kind of use its body directly.
Yeah. So we're gonna try and fight back.
Burn list can,
with the burn.
So we see the Soul Drain in hand, so the Airbat's gonna get cleaned up. But if the Storyteller comes down too,
You get a collector to survive.
yeah, double Scourge Flame in the opening, not what you want to see.
Gross. We have
kind of 2 cards down for like the rest of the game, basically. Although the Ariana, they pretty light. Fire does let you full clear.
Yep. Not quite actually. Since he found the Flame Burst instead of Wrath.
Yep.
We probably see. I mean, do you go for? I guess you go for Wrath because you don't have a spot for Merchant to go yet.
Yep.
Ooh.
Flame Burst.
Nothing coming down.
A third.
Jeez, oh no. So we desperately need collections.
Yeah.
I think Merchant just goes right side.
I just kind of want to stick. Oh, okay, yeah. I see the Flame Burst in hand. I know what's happening, so I'm trying to play around that. But Arrow doesn't.
Yeah.
Isn't ready. Although you do know that he bartered into something and didn't play it, so it wasn't a Wrath.
That's true. I guess you could go Merchant aggro. It gives you the same collections, and it contests the deserts.
I wanted to quit. Just step left with the Storyteller to double collect and not play Merchant.
Oh.
That's what I wanted to do.
To save up for Scourge. I think you play the Merchant because you're really far away from Scourge here. Wait, what? Oh no.
I think you're just like, oh, Kodama is healing. Can't give them healing, but
wait. But
yeah.
Oh no, Arrow.
Yeah.
Oh no. Okay, so Kodama's always a consideration because it's got 6 life. It's very chonky. The thing is, in this position, Cheese has 0 collectors on board. He's never gonna play this Kodama. This thing can't collect. It's not in Cheese's best interest to ever play this down. But Manta Rider's so good. I mean, we see that Cheese already had. I know.
Yeah.
Exactly. But Manta Rider would have been so great for
I wonder if it was ever
Arrow.
worth to hold the wild Manta Rider. Does that ever come up? Probably not.
I mean, you can double neutral. Another thing, like, it potentially hides information. Because Arrow knows.
You also don't super mind having the Kodomo for yourself. Maybe. If you figure that he's just got a Manta Rider anyway.
You do, though. Because Soul Drain is so likely to top deck and clear off the 2/2, and now your Kodama's sitting there not collecting.
I mean, I guess, why are we investing in Kodama if we're just going to have, like, 3 Spectres?
Also true.
Oh, by Storyteller.
Yeah, also true. We got these triple story. Yeah, I don't actually know why the Kodama came down at all, to be honest. I guess he was worried about the Manta Rider favorably trading into Spectre.
If we had... Oh my goodness. I want to have 5 more Faeria. I guess you just kind of chill. I wouldn't play. I would just kind of like...
Yeah, you really need to build up to these triple Scourge Flames you got going on.
Yeah. Although with the amount of ability Cheese has, it's just going to get 1 hit anyway, regardless of what happens.
It does kind of suck, but I mean, yeah. I guess Merchant is okay. It trades nicely into stuff, but you really want the Scourge. I mean, it's not that bad, right?
So Scourge is each like what, 8 damage? So you just need 2 to hit face. Assuming there's no like removal. Straight up.
Yeah, I guess you're never coming back on board. You just go for the... Oh, he's going face. I like it. Grab the aggressive land.
Boom. No, don't do it.
Yeah, don't.
Yes, good.
No Merchant. I like the face hit a lot. That's great.
Yeah, I didn't even see that line. I forgot that Flash Fit works on non-Scourge Flame. Who knew this? The Kodama, he was the burn card.
After all. I mean, he spent 5 Faeria to deal 5 face damage. I guess that's where he wants his Faeria going in this matchup.
And she has to respond to this. You can't take another. You can't afford to take another 5 from this card.
Yeah, and no Spirit Thefts or anything in hand. That's an awkward clear, actually.
So we saw 1 Soul Drain and 1 Barter from Cheese.
Yeah. It's probably a draw here, right?
Feels so bad to draw with this hand.
It does,
Probably
but
just-
I mean...
You suck it up and you double trade, play a thing. Everything
Ouch.
costs 5 in his hand. You really need to like.
Yeah. Yeah, all of a sudden, it's not looking too bad for Arrow, to be honest.
Yeah, the Kodama line was insane.
Well spotted by Arrow. Cheese is gonna have to just desperately try and
Deal
dump
with.
his hand, but I think it's
I mean,
just...
this Spectre alone, I think, is just enough. Like, you hit Fate
Yeah.
the Spectre, Cheese has to trade into it, and he's got a Flame Burst to follow up. What happened?
I don't know. That was only a
I think
single...
Kodama went.
Yeah,
Kodama went face. He was at 15-ish. Where did the other 5 damage come from?
ping damage from Husk. We played 1 Cypher's Wrath,
Entirely.
and then just a singular Scourge Flame closing out the game.
The airbot went right. Story till they're healed. Was there a Wrath? Oh, so we Wrath and Arianas. That was 2 damage.
And then I think...
Where did the other 3 damage come from?
Well, Husk got
I
a
guess
few
Husk.
pings.
Yeah.
That Ariana not helping into the Husk matchup, I suppose.
No, definitely not. Up.
Flame Burst. Well done. Arrow taking out the Flyers list. I bet he's real happy that that one's gone. Let me
Yeah.
just see if they're ready for the final one. Match point
For both.
in the Ruunin Open. And it's gonna be
Looks like an angry
the
list.
Burn Husk against Cheese's Probably Angry.
It's an interesting cover choice.
Yeah, I mean, I guess at 7 neutrals is pretty likely it's Angry. So your opponent's not really doing much guesswork there. Yes,
Still
it is
a
indeed
full pack.
Angry. So many Horse
seen
Masters seen
Estel.
this tournament.
Yep. Fight Sprite might be causing problems for Cheese in the Burn matchup, but we'll see.
Possibly, but also they're gonna help in the Husk matchup. Because they're so cheap.
Well, this double merchant hand might overrule
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, Arrow's got a great
Excited.
opening. Oh no! Well,
I mean,
that
it's
Wrath isn't
like
coming
2
down
turns
for a
away.
while. But that's a 4 damage Cypher's Wrath.
Yep.
Ooh, that's a tough pick, but probably Swordfish. I mean,
Yeah.
Tosser's
Well,
really...
actually, if any deck wants to have Monstrosity, it's Angry.
I know that's a thing, but also it's 5 cost.
Yeah.
And you can kind of dance around your opponent's angry stuff for a bit, hopefully. There's no mobility for the Monstrosity, so I don't think it's that big a
And you'll
threat.
have a taunt creature.
Yeah, I mean, I think the
With
Swordfish is the
Swordfish.
best pick.
Yeah.
It's
It's one of those, like, merchant choices where it's like, how much do I need to make sure I don't get ruined here?
Mm-hmm. And Tosser for the mono-red player is pretty bad. They don't want to build up to 6
Yeah.
lands.
Yeah, I was like, Cheese really wants to double land here. Get aggressive. He knows what deck he's facing.
Yep.
So this Frog Tosser is just a -1 hand size for rest of game.
Yeah,
The Devil's Soul Pact.
pretty good.
Were we supposed to play the Merchant last turn?
Last turn?
Maybe. Yeah.
Well, it
Oh,
couldn't
I
be
guess
played
right-
last
double
turn.
right side.
We didn't
Could we
have...
play last? Sure we did.
we
We had Soul Pact.
We only had one desert last turn.
How? We played a merchant last turn.
Oh, right. Wait. Oh, you wanted to play double merchant. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
So that you can like start stepping left maybe.
Yeah. Gives the Freedom Fighter to Cheese. That's a scary card.
Yeah.
That's a scary card.
As much as like we like to meme on Freedom Fighter, that's like one of the scariest cards to give as merchant.
Yeah, having.
Oh, you could do Forge Link now.
Having a 3 damage card in hand, even though it's 5 cost, that's just a 3 damage tool that can come down in a surprise location at any time. It might not be great for the value, but that surprise 3 damage, it's a threat of 3 damage all the time. Constantly on the board, you have to be watching out for that.
Anywhere within double land's reach.
Yeah.
Key.
Ooh, Spectre number 1.
Yep.
That monstrosity's now been played, but like I said, I don't think the monstrosity is that spooky without mobility.
Yeah, you could probably just step the Forge Link back and I land up and do nothing this turn. Don't even need to be in trade range of this 3-1.
Do you put the Swordfish face?
I guess you could, but...
I mean, start plucking away the 4 damage.
I think with 11 Faeria, you might want to have some responsiveness.
That's fair, yeah. We're gonna see the Freedom Fighter!
You can clear the Forge Link with the Wrath. Go face.
Thinking about the face. Goes for the creature.
Yeah, the removal makes sense here.
Yeah. 7
well,
Faeria
doesn't
removal.
have any mobility, so you have some time.
Yeah, that monstrosity can kind of sit there. You can probably afford the Cypher's Wrath. On the Spite Sprite, I was thinking about saving it for... Oh.
Oh, now we're playing Swordfish?
Gonna lock down the monstrosity. I guess that's fair because...
There's no way Angry is gonna deal with the Swordfish, right?
No way you're dealing with a Swordfish, no way you're dealing with the monstrosity being locked down either. Because there's no mobility.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Monstrosity down. Dealt with.
Yeah. I think Cheese is going to be in some trouble next turn.
Yeah, probably. We might have some Spectres hitting some 3-1s.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a Wrath in hand.
That Trooper, if that had come down 1 turn earlier, would have been a lot scarier for Aru.
Yeah.
What if we creation the Trooper?
Then we would have a 5-4 instead of a 5-3. And
I mean,
Faeria.
Yeah, and also we could like absorb 2 lands potentially, but maybe it doesn't matter.
So Cheese has how much damage going face? 13. So you need to kill something here.
Mm-hmm.
And you need to like even block with the Grim Guard.
Yeah, I gotta like kill 2 things potentially. So we've got, which we can do with Scourge Flame plus Wrath. Does mean the Scourge Flame has to be invested backwards, which kinda hurts.
Yeah. But you can clear the monstrosity with a Wrath here. Oh, you know you can't.
No, you gotta use the Wrath defensively, unfortunately.
Or
but
you could do Grim Guard things. I don't. Well.
I mean, no mobility, right?
Yeah. It might be really important to go.
Ooh,
Is it important to see the monstrosity? You could go face here. Let's see. You do 5-9 with the.
You're threatening.
Swordfish.
You got Flame Burst coming to your face potentially, though. I'm spooked to go face here. I
It's been a
am.
very exciting end of the series.
Yeah.
Go face with the swordfish. There you go. I liked putting the swordfish in the middle instead of on the land, but
No Wrath.
There's-
Why not Wrath though?
now you're dead.
Oh, man, if we had Wrathed, then we wouldn't be dead.
Details.
Wonder what he was saving that for. But, regardless, that's it. That's the finals. Exciting way to go out, and Cheese is going to take the crown. First place of this Ruunin Open, but well fought by Eru. He came very close in the end. But he will be taking second place this tournament.
Yep.
And I think Stinky forfeited the third place match, so Kilt has won the third place match, so congrats to all those players for making it this far. And thanks to Summer and Lizard both for casting with me. It's been a delight.
Yes. It's always good to pop in and assist in the very important community of tournaments.
Yeah, it was a fun little tournament to come back to. Next tournament is in 2 weeks, I believe. So if you want to jump in on this madness, you can join the Battlefy page. All the links are on the Faeria official Discord under the tournament section. 2 weeks until the next Open. Everyone's welcome to join. New or old, you saw a lot of, or some new players in this tournament, so everyone is welcome. But, anyways, I'm gonna go rest my throat, so see you guys later, and thanks for watching.